Every single educational YouTuber needs to have an email list and a newsletter. I'm gonna give you 2 reasons why. So my name is Jaden. This is my first channel. This is my first video on this channel, Letters for Tubers. I'm starting this channel as a business channel to mainly just market my ghostwriting services and to teach people as well about writing, about newsletters, about learning and stuff like that. I wanted to have this channel separate from my main channel, JC Dubs, where I'm gonna focus more on like spirituality, philosophy, creating, other forms of creating, and like have my vlog stuff on there. I kind of wanted to separate my business adventures from my more artistic and philosophical adventures. And so I have this channel, Letters for Tubers. But on my main channel, JC Dubs, I started posting back in May 2024, so coming on a year now, which is pretty fucking crazy. And I posted for 101 days straight, right? From May 15th to August 24th. And in that time, I went from 69 to just over 1,000 subscribers. And from that, I was able to gather a 150-ish person email list by funneling some people into some free school communities and getting their emails from there. And I started writing my newsletter consistently in November. I was writing it like here and there from July, but I really started getting consistent in November. Every single day I did it. And although I love the daily newsletter, I'm not gonna teach you that. I'm not gonna preach that to a lot of people. I will talk about it occasionally because I think it's very powerful for building momentum, building the habit of writing. But I think in terms of long-term investment, a weekly newsletter is the best vehicle. But for me personally, I started doing daily in November, and it was pretty crazy. I was writing a book, and I was coming off the back of that, The Digital Alchemist Blueprint, and I finished writing that. I was kind of in the midst of finishing that, editing it, and writing the newsletter every day. So I was doing a fuck ton of writing. I was probably working like 6-8 hours a day. Some days like 10, 12, 16, or if I'm like outside walking and I'm just like fucking typing and shit. You know what I mean? But it was really in that period, November, when I really fell in love with writing for real. And I've always been like a lover of speaking. I've had YouTube channels over the past 13 years. Like I started my first YouTube channel when I was 8 years old, February 24th, 2012. You know what I mean? So I've been doing this shit for a long time. I've done a lot of yapping in my life. I do a lot of yapping because I love to yap. I love to yap. But it was really in that period in November, about a year after I really discovered journaling, and journaling is what even got me into writing more. I started journaling in about August 2023, and I got my pocket journals in November 2023, and I started getting more heavily into journaling last quarter, like November, December 2023. And then throughout 2024, in terms of like having a consistent journaling practice with like a regular journal, I haven't really had that, but I've always rocked out with my pocket journals. Always loved having these things to capture notes, to have like ideas for videos, to write down quotes, or even like do like journaling prompts if I want to like document something like on a diary type shit, or if I'm like feeling something, I have something I want to emotionally process, maybe I'll write it out rather than contemplating it and allowing it to sit in my awareness. Quick side tangent. I think journaling is so powerful because it really allows you to separate your thoughts from where you currently are, your current experience, right? And allows you to leave your thoughts, in this paper, in this book, and it allows you to come back later when you're less emotionally charged and observe it from a place of neutrality. And when you can do that, when you don't have that judgment towards your experiences, towards your actions, when you don't have that negative charge associated with the thoughts, it's a lot easier to get out of the guilt or the shame trap spiral that we often tend to stay in by continuously focusing on our negative thoughts. I'll tell you guys right now, I've been in a rut for like a month, 2 months, honestly, and I've kind of been like marinating on this idea of like the ghostwriting and like selling like a newsletter service where I like really help educational YouTubers, like, because I really believe in this cause. Like I really think this is something that more YouTubers really need, because I think it's just such a powerful vehicle for education, for inspiration, and also like the business aspect of it, which we'll talk more about all that stuff later. But I've kind of been, playing with this concept for a little bit, and it's like, I've been bullshitting about taking action. But today, I was kind of just here, and I'm like, bro, fuck all the bullshit, bro. Like, I'm thinking about it. I was watching a Hamza video talking about business, and I'm like, fuck this shit, bro. I need to get to the fucking shit, bro. I just need to get back to the basics, bro. You know what I mean? I know what I want to promote, so I'm just gonna fucking promote it. And I'm just gonna do it, bro. I'm just gonna run it up. I'm gonna stop thinking, and I'm just gonna do. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm here making this video. But, you know what I mean? Like, I've kind of been in my head a lot. And I feel like it's very hard to get out of your head when you're just in your head. You know what I mean? And I feel like journaling really helps us with that. When you haven't trained yourself to like have that in your own mind and awareness, when you haven't like trained yourself through meditation and like presence practices, when you haven't trained yourself to just observe your thoughts neutrally and like detach from yourself and detach from your thoughts. Like if you're associated with your thoughts, if you believe you are your thoughts, that's probably the biggest aspect, right? This is why I teach spirituality. We'll hear esoteric concepts and like metaphysics stuff pop up on this channel. I'll spit about it here and there. I don't want to get too down the rabbit hole because I'll start yapping, but I feel like spirituality is such a core aspect of like life in general, but especially this aspect of like detaching from your thoughts, because you have to understand that you are not your thoughts. You are that which observes them. And so like we're like I said, we're not going to get too philosophical here, but there's a core aspect to that. And I think journaling and just writing in general, which is why I'm like here talking about this, is so powerful, because writing really helps us separate our thoughts from ourselves. And that's beautiful because it's an expression of ourselves. And it really allows us to reflect on what we truly express, what we truly believe, if we don't hold ourselves back, right? And so, like for me, as I'll go back to my story real quick, and then we'll talk about these two reasons, you know what I mean? Man, like for me, I found so much self-expression. I found really my ability to speak my voice and to really live in my authenticity and to really express my thoughts and to really express my tone, really express my personality, really embody my persona, really embody my unique self, who God designed me to be. I really found a lot of that through writing. Writing really helped me unblock my throat chakra quite a lot. And I think that's something a lot of us struggle with, having that blocked throat chakra. I was talking to my coworker Kaya yesterday about this, and we be chopping up about this like all the time over the past 4 months. And she recently got told that like she might be getting fired, and so we were kind of having like a sentimental moment yesterday on some like, we really like she was telling me how she's really appreciated like my ability to hold space for her and like allow her to open up and like be vulnerable. And it was very powerful for me because it's like, damn, bro, like, like my investment into Kaya is definitely not for naught. And I can see that. And that's very beautiful. That means so much to me. You know what I mean? But we were talking about how she's kind of have this unwillingness to really express. Like, I told her how it manifests a lot in her apologizing. You know what I mean? And kind of like, almost like trying to apologize for being too much or being too expressive, being to herself, basically. And I was like, nah, Kaya, you got to cut that shit out. You know what I mean? That's like the voice of your mom in your head, and you're like apologizing to her whenever you apologize to other people. And when I said that to her, I could just see the paradigm shift. She was like, and I was like, that's what I do this for, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do this for. And that's what's available to all of us. All of us have this power of self-realization, of shifting our awareness, of shifting the things within our minds. And writing is really a powerful tool for that. And I think more than anything, taking your stuff from the line of private writing to public writing, that shit is even more hot, baby. That shit's even more hot. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you really have to stand true in your expression. You know what I mean? You have to really be ruthless with it. You have to really be authentic with it. You have to really be willing to be vulnerable. You have to really be willing to be expressive. And that shit is scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that shit gets real, bro. I experienced this a lot. Like a couple months ago when I wanted to start writing more about Christianity and talking more about Christianity. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've had this piece about Jesus about how Jesus didn't claim to be God, that's a whole another topic. I'm not going to talk about that. But I had this whole other piece about how Jesus didn't claim to be God that I started cooking back in February. And I still haven't posted it because I just keep fucking articulating, trying to be more perfect, trying to get more scripture in there, trying to rebuke more arguments that Christians might have. Look, I love Christianity. I love Jesus. I wear the cross for a reason. I'm a mystical Christian myself. Like I said, not the discussion. But shit, I've been scared of putting that shit out because I haven't been willing to cross that line with that aspect of my life. And that I get it. You know what I mean? I've posted about Jesus here and there, and I still talk about Christianity, but that's still something that's difficult for me, honestly. You know what I mean? That's still something that's very hard for me to like truly share my beliefs because they're very polarizing, and a lot of people will disagree with them, and that's scary. And that doesn't feel good. That makes the ego kind of shiver in its pants and shit. You know what I mean? So I understand. Like, I get the fear aspect of it, but you have to be willing to move beyond that. You have to be able to choose love instead of fear. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to move from the heart and listen to the voice of intuition that's guiding you. God is always guiding you if you're willing to listen and to act from that voice. But you do have to have that discernment to discern from the voice of intuition, the voice of God, versus the cunning of ego that likes to keep us trapped and comfortable in our box. You know what I mean? It can be tough. That's why presence and meditation is great for cultivating that ability to connect with that intuition, to discern those two voices. Because when you're meditating, the ego comes up, and then you know what you do? You just get right back to the breath. You're like, I just want to be one with God. Fuck you, ego. It's not really like that, but it can be. It can be. All right, I'm going to stop ranting. We're going to talk about what this video is actually about now, okay? So now that I gave you some like philosophical and like kind of like more ideological mindset things for why you should be writing, right? If you're not already. Here's like some practical reasons as like why you as an educational YouTuber or someone who wants to be an educational YouTuber should be writing a newsletter. And I preach Substack because that's the platform I know. If you want to work with me and you want to hire me for my ghostwriting services, I would tell you to use Substack. And Substack is for two reasons. One, because of the audio aspect of it, like you can record audio and send audio and video as well to your people. But two, because Substack allows you to create a publication, and that basically over time you'll be creating a digital library. Like if you go to my publication, which will be in the description, Digital Renaissance Creators. If you go to my publication page on Substack, I have fucking tons of content. I have over 250 posts on there of newsletters and videos and podcasts over the last like 6 to 8 months of my creator journey. See what I'm saying? Or 6 to 10 months of my creator journey. And when you have that archive, when people come into your ecosystem and you have that, they have that ability to like binge your shit, that is where like the money really comes in. You know what I mean? Okay, here's where we're gonna really talk about the two reasons. So the two reasons are, one, you get to keep your audience like in an email list rather than like on social media. And two, you get to provide more value through written and audio formats, right? So it's not just video format. You can provide more value to your people through written formats or through audio formats, right? You can kind of speak to what your people prefer. And the people who really rock with you will choose to tap in with you in their preferred medium or shit, in multiple mediums. So let's talk about each one a little deeper. So your first one, you get to keep your audience. I feel like this is a core one. Like I feel like people on YouTube really actually don't appreciate this. Don't even really understand this. Actually, let me throw in a third reason real quick. You can contact your audience through email, which can be important, especially as a biz owner. So we're gonna talk about that one later. But you get to keep your audience. Okay, this is huge. On social media, right, there is literally no guarantee that you can keep your following or your profile. Like at any time, the social media gods, the YouTube gods, the Instagram gods, the Twitter warlords, you know what I mean, or the X warlords, whatever, Elon Musk, whatever. At any time, Musk can be like, fuck you and take your account, right? Anytime that can happen. right? And so like at any time you can basically lose access to your following. You know what I mean? And this is why like Tate fucking like when he got banned, he went to Grinder. That's a fucking app. What was that shit called? I don't even know. I don't know. Anyways, he went to that app. He went to that that software, that place, that streaming software. I don't know. My brain isn't working right now. But people like have been dipping off YouTube and going there, right? Because they get to not like they're not being censored, right? And so it's like in this digital age, when we want to be authentic, we want to be polarizing as fuck. We want to be ourselves. Like I was talking about shit that like people in this video, if you're still watching this and maybe you're a Christian or you know, or maybe you're an atheist and you've been hearing this guy talk about God or like how Jesus isn't God and you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I thought I was supposed to be learning about newsletters. Yes. But that's the thing. It's like you're coming to JC Dubs to learn about newsletters. And that means we're going to get philosophical here. We're going to get spiritual. We're going to get esoteric. I'm going to talk about the shit I believe in because my philosophy weaves into what I'm teaching you here about writing and about newsletters and about teaching and about content, stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? It's me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And so it's like, since I'm being polarizing, that's going to fuck with some people. I mean, some people are going to fuck with that. Some people aren't. Some people are going to be like, fuck this guy. I'm out of here. That's cool. Get the fuck up out of here. I don't want you here. You feel me? that has to be your mentality, right? And since you want to be polarizing, right? If you get to the point where, you know, maybe you say some shit too controversial. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know what your intentions are. I don't know. But like, maybe you get banned or whatever the fuck. YouTube can be like, fuck you. Get the fuck up out of here. Or maybe they'll delete your videos. Bro, one time I had this crazy scare. I was fucking tripping, bro. This was in like August. Yeah, this was in August. This was when I was with my ex. Bro, I was on the phone with her and I go to my YouTube studio one day and I just see like an error pop up. Error. I'm like, what the fuck? This is like on the app. And so I go to my laptop. That shit says all my videos have been deleted because of like some violation of community guidelines. I was like, what the fuck? I was tripping, dog. You feel me? I was going crazy. I'm like, oh nah, this is unacceptable, bro. Like I was really going crazy, bro. I was like emailing YouTube. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like what fucking guidelines did I fucking? And I was like, is it because of these fucking AI thumbnails I've been trying out recently? I was trying out some AI thumbnails for like the past few days, and I'm like, yo, this is insane. It was actually just like a bug. Like I don't know, maybe some fucking terrorists were attacking YouTube servers and that shit was going crazy. I don't know. But eventually we got that shit back the next day. So it was all Gucci, right? But what if it wasn't, right? I would have been sticking. All my videos were gone. I mean, I still had my audience and shit. But it's like all my videos were basically cooked. You know what I mean? I think my page actually might have been flagged too. So it's like, what if I couldn't have uploaded content on that channel anymore? I would have just been fucking sticking. I wouldn't have had access to that audience. Except for the 150-ish people on my email list. So it's like, hey, we still got these people. That's cool. You see what I'm saying? You always have access to your email list. Your email list will never, ever not be in your possession. It is an asset you will always own. And it is more valuable than social media followers. Why? Because it shows that people were willing to take the next step and give you their email. Like if people found you on YouTube and then they go to your newsletter and they subscribe, that means they fuck with you. Or they fuck with your content enough to want to learn more from you. You see what I'm saying? It's like that next level of commitment. It's like they're like warmer, right? If we think about like a funnel, cold, warm, hot. Most cold people won't join like a written newsletter from YouTube because most people on YouTube just like to watch YouTube videos, right? But if they like to read or if they want more like in-depth value or if they want access to other things, like if you join my newsletter, I give you access to my free courses and my free ebooks. If they want access to other things, then they'll take that next step. That means they're action takers. That means they're more committed to learning. Those are people you want in your inner circle. Those are people you want to teach more to. Those are people you want to show more, you want to give more to because they're open to receiving it. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, the fact that you can keep your audience and that you can always reach your people is so fucking valuable. Like, I can't tell you, like, even in times of like I haven't, like on my main channel, JC Dubs, I haven't posted in like, I don't even know, like a month or some shit. I ain't gonna lie. But it's like, I've still been posting on my email list. I'm still out here serving my people. I'm still I'm still serving value like every week or so. And so like I still feel fulfilled to an extent from that aspect. Now I'm not gonna lie, I've been lacking. That's why I'm getting back to it, right? Especially with this biz channel. I'm hype as fuck for this channel. I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that I've had this like affirmation almost. I literally wrote it down here. I can always reach these people, right? Like I can always reach, and like out of those 150 people that I got, I eventually narrowed it down to like 100 people, and then on Substack, like the actual app itself. Now I don't really preach that you have to like grow on the Substack app itself, because like some people don't really like writing like that, and they kind of just want to do it like as a practice, like once a week or like occasionally. That's cool, honestly, in my opinion. Like growing on Substack is a completely different thing than just writing a newsletter and using Substack as a platform. You see what I'm saying? But I was doing some like Substack back in like December and January, so I got like an extra 30 followers. So right, my current email list is 139 subscribers, and of that people, like of that 139, when I post a newsletter, I usually have like 30 to like 50, 60 people who tap into like basically like everything I post. You see what I'm saying? And so like for me as an educator, as somebody who's like a teacher, like this is my purpose. Like teaching people is like the thing I'm here for. Whether it's philosophy or spirituality or creativity or writing or letters, like newsletters, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck I'm teaching, like I just love teaching people, right? I love learning, and I love teaching people what I learned because I'm fucking good at it. And I know that God has put this on my heart because I love doing it, and I'm able to impact people through it. You know what I mean? And so it's like, as somebody who loves educating, and if you're watching this video, then I'm sure you're the same way. Like you wouldn't have clicked on this if you weren't an educational YouTuber, if you're educating people, you see what I'm saying? As someone who loves to educate people and who gets fulfillment from educating people, who gets fulfillment from serving people, you will educate more people because you can either guarantee that your people get it, or it's just more volume of content, right? If you're posting on YouTube, let's say, maybe like twice a week, you're posting educational content on YouTube twice a week. Okay, awesome. That's 2 times you can serve your people. Okay. Now, what if you also posted a newsletter once a week? That's 3 times you can serve your people. Maybe you like recording voice memos. Like this is something I also talk about, and that I also like include in my ghostwriting service. Like if you want to work with me, if you're an educational YouTuber who like doesn't want to write, I get it. I will write for you, and I'll actually capture your tone and voice by you recording voice memos. So right, like you record a voice memo, and you can literally just use the transcript as like the raw script, and you can just edit that, and then you can send that, right? Or you can send me that voice memo, I'll learn your style, I'll use that transcript, I'll edit it myself, and then I'll send it to your people, or I'll send it to you to edit, whatever. You know what I mean? If that interests you, you can hit me up. You can find my contact. I don't do like sales calls or anything. I don't fucking got time for that shit, honestly. So if you want to work with me, email me. Hit me up on Substack or shoot me an email. My email's in the description, okay? But voice memos are so powerful, right? Because you can literally like record voice memos. I do this shit I literally posted one today. Like I posted a 13-minute audio podcast to my Substack today called On the Necessity of Religion and Spirituality. And it was literally a 13-minute voice memo that I recorded on my audio recorder. Like I literally carry an audio recorder with me. Shit, I got too much shit in my pockets, but I carry an audio recorder with me, and I recorded it on that bench at the park. Oh, probably can't see that. Can't. Oh, wait, let me see. Can't. Oh yeah, there it is. You see it? Boom. I recorded it on that bench on the park like 2 days ago. And then I was like listening to it. I was putting like the files from here on my computer today, and I was like, I want to drop something today. And I was like, well, this shit is 13 minutes of gas. I'm about to drop that thing. And that shit was fire, boy. What? I ain't gonna lie. But man, I've like posted like voice memos that I just did on my phone. It's so easy to just do it on your phone. You literally record a voice memo on your phone. You go on Substack. I mean, you like save the voice memo to your files. You go to Substack. You upload the audio file, and then you just send it to your email list. It's so fucking free, bro. You can literally send your voice memos, just like your raw ideas, to your audience directly, right? You don't even have to sit in front of a camera. You can just spit to your phone and then send it to your email list, and they still get value. It's so cool, right? Like, bro, I'm telling you, this voice memo shit, like, I'm cooking with this one, bro. Like, nobody's talking about this. But that's like really the first core aspect of this, of why you should have an email list, why you should use a newsletter, and why you should use Substack specifically. Because you get to keep your audience, retain them, and you can always reach them. And since you're on Substack, you have multiple ways of reaching them. Shit, you can still send them your YouTube videos. Like, you could upload your YouTube videos to Substack, and then you could just email them to your people directly. That's fucking sick. That almost guarantees that, like, your people who really fuck with you will, like, definitely get your content, right? Because the algorithm, you know what I mean, that's here or there. Now, granted, do all your emails always get delivered? Do all your people always open them? No. And so, like, headlining, that's another skill. Whatever. But at the end of the day, when people like you and they see you in their email, they're gonna click. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have like 5 people who will, like 3 to 5 people who will literally listen to anything I drop audio. Like, any audio podcast or video I drop, they always download it. Like, every single time. Like, that's fucking cool, bro. It's cool to know as a teacher that I have students who are willing to learn and who are like really taking my teachings. That's fucking sick, bro. And so as somebody who wants to educate, who wants to teach people, who wants to serve people, and like gets genuine fulfillment and has a lot of purpose from that, we can really guarantee that for ourselves in this like relationship where we're serving people consistently through the email, right? So that's the first reason why it's valuable, right? Because you really get to keep your audience and target them. And that kind of like meshes into the second idea of you get to educate people more, right? And that is good for 2 reasons, right? So if like, one, if you just enjoy educating people, like I already kind of talked about this, so it's like, I'm kind of just repeating this point, but I have it written down as the second point, so I just want to say it. If you get that purpose and fulfillment from educating, from teaching people, it's awesome because you get to educate people more from the email list through written and through audio than just on YouTube, if it was just through video. You see what I'm saying? Shit, you can also take your writing from your newsletters and post them on YouTube, the community posts. Bro, basically nobody uses YouTube community posts. If you post YouTube community posts consistently, your people will see them. There are like a handful of people on that I'm subscribed to. Nero, Ed Lawrence, Money Maxing. There are like a few people who like consistently post on their YouTube community posts. Quasi Joe here. And I like always see their stuff because they're consistent and basically nobody uses it. It's such a slept on part of YouTube. So use it. You know what I mean? If you already have the writing, use it. See what I'm saying? But you get to educate people more, which is awesome. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, because you get to nurture your people more, you get to build more trust, which means sales. You see what I'm saying? And so like, as somebody who wants to serve others, and as somebody who wants to maybe be rewarded for that service, who wants to have a mutual relationship of like receiving money in terms of services or in terms of products, if you're an entrepreneur, bro, having an email list is just so fucking king. Especially because you can also contact those people through email, right? So this can be in terms of like reaching out to your people in terms of like asking them for advice on content to post for your channel, reaching out to prospects in terms of like, hey, I saw like you're a consistent subscriber of the letter, like you tap into a lot of our stuff. Or maybe you clicked on the link to, you know, to like maybe you do like a CTA in your letter to like a product. Oh, hey, you clicked on this link, but you didn't like, you didn't buy the product. You can like reach out to that person. You could say like, hey, was there something that you were considering? Any questions you had? You have that ability because you have their email, which is something that you don't have strictly through YouTube because YouTube has 0 contact systems, right? This is like, YouTube's basically, in my opinion, YouTube is like the best platform for like educational content. The only downfall that YouTube has is that you just can't fucking message people. And so when you pair that with Substack or email, where you like get that direct access to people, like people who take that next step are like serious. And so you can directly access the serious people. That is the money, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's really where the money is at. This is good. Writing good. Email list good for audience capture, to deliver more value, to educate more, to serve the people who want to be served more, to contact those people. Newsletter good. If you're an educational YouTuber, you should have one. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully this video wasn't too all over the place, because I know it was all over the place a bit. It's my first video back in a bit, so, you know what I mean? You gotta like shake off the rust and shit. You gotta shake off the rust. But yeah, if you're interested in having a newsletter, but you don't feel like writing it, and you want to hire me for my ghostwriting services, where I basically turn your voice memos into a weekly newsletter, I'd love to do that for you. Contact me via email, and we could talk biz.